George trying to go to work, guarded by Franklin. He'll pull up with two hands in his face. There's George calling his own number and knocking it down.
Here's the freshman George, stopping on a dime.
There's that dribble.
Switched hands. And
you know this kid? Look at the contest.
Oh!
Bingo. George again.
Oh, boy.
George. Fouled on the three-point.
Keonte George against Robin. What a move. Oh, my.
The last 2 decades. Tough shot. Keonte George puts it on the floor. The drive. That's nice.
On the floor to get that steal. See if George can take it all the way in. Good hop step.
Baylor the other way. Here's George. Got through Davis. Hangs and hits. George, full head of steam. And he got it again. You can hear Eric Musselman stomp on the Arkansas sideline.
George with 3. Keonte George. Corner. Follow away. He hit it.
Have his ups and downs. Some days good, some days bad. But Zach has to be consistent.
Yo, what is good, YouTube? It is your boy Make America Lit, back with another NBA 2K23 video. And as you can see on your screen, today's episode, I have another edition of NBA prospect builds for you guys. In today's video, we are going to be looking at NBA prospect Keonte George. Now, as you can see in that little clip I just showed you in the beginning, you know, just some highlights from his freshman season at Baylor University. Keonte George is NBA prospect who's looking to get drafted in the draft this year. Decent player, you know what I'm saying? Very high volume scorer. If you want to look at his stats or whatever, you can look him up. You know, he averaged I think 15 or 16 a game. You know, 4 boards, 3 assists. He's a very decent player. And as you can see by his highlights, he's a very exciting player. You know, just, you know, crazy highlights, step backs, you know, can score from all 3 levels, you know, can finish at the rim as well, too. He's just really good, you know, put the ball on the floor. But, you know, I think the main thing I really like about him as a player is just his ability to just, you know, get a bucket, you know. He's not the most efficient scorer or player, you know, in the draft, but he can go out there and get you a bucket. And I thought it would be very interesting to go out here and recreate his build. Now, the main badges that I wanted to focus on, based on those highlights as you've seen, for his finishing, we're looking at the Acrobat badge, Giant Slayer, Fearless Finisher, and Slithery. For shooting, we're looking at Agent 3, Deadeye, Space Creator, Guard Up, Limitless Range, Amped, Volume Shooter, Green Machine, Comeback Kid, and Blinders. And then for playmaking, we're looking at Killer Combos, Hyperdrive, Clamp Breaker, Quick First Step, Unpluckable, Handles for Days, and Mismatch Expert. I feel like those are the, you know, badges that, you know, he displayed the most in his, you know, play or whatever his freshman year. So let's just go ahead and jump into the build. Now, of course, you know, he wears the jersey number 1. He is a 2 guard, 6'4", 185 pounds, right-handed. So, you know, we made sure we went out here and got all of that. I just went with the 6'9" wingspan because that's just the default, obviously. And then I also went with just the compact body shape or whatever. You know, it's up to you. You could choose however you want to go, you know, for the wingspan. But I just stayed default just because that was a default wingspan for 6'4" height. And these are the attributes that I went with. We're looking at an 81 close shot, an 89 driving layup, and an 80 driving dunk. Because he can throw the ball down, he can dunk. He is, you know, somewhat athletic. I've seen him catch dunks and stuff like that, almost catch bodies as well too, you know, posting and stuff. We're looking at 18 finishing, you know, just to give you a brief layout what the badges are looking like. Moving on to the shooting, we're looking at an 83 mid-range with an 85 3-ball and an 87 free throw. Give you a glimpse at the badges that we're going to be looking for. And we're definitely going to make sure that we have 23 shooting badges because we definitely want to make sure that we can snag Agent 3, you know, and we're also going to want to either snag Blinders or Limitless Range to go with that as well, you know, part of those tier 3 badges. And then of course with whatever extra badge points that we have from the season passes and stuff like that, will try to snag a dead eye as well as a lower level of guard up and, you know, green machine badges like that. Moving on to the playmaking, we're looking at a 76 pass accuracy because he's not that great of a passer. He only averaged around 3 assists per game. He's not like some crazy playmaker, although he's shown, you know, some good playmaking chops, you know, as a player. But, you know, this is 2K. We want to be able to pass the ball. So 76 pass accuracy, an 89 ball handle, a 75 speed with ball, 19 playmaking. Of course, our main badge that we're going to be shooting for the tier 3 is going to be Clamp Breaker. You know, as you've seen in the clips, he can beat his defender off the dribble fairly easily. Clamp Breaker, Quick First Step, and Hyperdrive are going to be the main badges that we're going to be focusing on, as well as Unpluckable, you know, just so we aren't losing the ball, things of that nature. And Handles for Days, if we can shoot for Handles for Days as well too. Handles for Days, Clamp Breaker, Quick First Step, and Unpluckable. Mismatch Expert, I feel like he displayed that as well too, but it's not as needed. If we could get Clamp Breaker, we don't need Mismatch Expert as much, but, you know, I would prefer to have Clamp Breaker over Mismatch Expert. That's just me. And then finally, defense. We went with an 86 perimeter defense and an 86 steal, 66 defensive rebound, because he did average around 4 boards a game or whatever. But the main concern for this is going to be that 86 perimeter, 86 steal, because we are going to be a 6'4" guard. We're going to be on the shorter side. We need to be able to play, you know, on the perimeter. You know, we're going to need to be able to play great defense on the perimeter. We're not going to be, you know, ridiculously catching blocks and, you know, playing really good interior defense, but we want to actually be solid on the perimeter though, because we don't want people cooking us down low and on the wing. So, you know, 86 perimeter defense, 26 steal, 20 defensive badges, meaning that we'll be able to rock one of these for sure. Either glove or clamps is really up to you, which one you choose to go with. As well as pick dodger, menace. We're also going to be able to get challenger. Yeah, so it's totally up to you, but I just care about having the actual attributes. You know, now keep in mind this build goes a lot harder on current gen. If you do have this, you know, 2K on current gen, you want to make this build. This build will go a lot harder on current gen because you don't have the tier system for the badges. It's much easier to get all the badges. You could pick and choose all of these badges that you want without having to worry about spending 10 and then adding 6 and then coring and stuff like that. You could just go out there and grab whatever you want. So yeah, this build is a lot better on current gen if you are making this build. But I just went ahead and made it on next gen just cause. Finally, our physicals: 88 speed, 73 acceleration, 39 strength, 75 vertical, and a 90 stamina to round us out with 18 finishing, 23 shooting, 19 playmaking, and 20 defensive. And then, of course, for our takeover, I went with easy blow-bys because, as you've seen in the clips, he's just blowing past his defender every time. Easy blow-bys paired with any level of clamp breaker, either bronze or silver or even gold, you're going to just be breezing by people to the basket like how he was doing, just effortlessly, you know? And then, finally, for our secondary takeover, we're going to be going with negative impact because, as you've seen in those clips, he was just, you know, just stepping back, step back, just FaceTiming people, splashing in people's faces, hitting contested, you know, jumpers, hitting contested 3s and 1-3s. Like, he's just really good when it comes to shooting difficult shots. So those are the 2 takeovers that I think embodies his play style the most. Now, honestly, you can go with something like pull-up precision, you know, as well as finishing moves, because, you know, he does absorb and finishes through contact and stuff. You could also go with limitless range. Limitless range is another one, I think, that displays, you know, his ability to shoot the ball well and stuff from 3. But if I was going to choose 2 other takeovers, those would be the ones. I would go with finishing moves, and then I would also go with limitless range. Otherwise, I would stick with this easy blow-bys and negative impact. And then, of course, there you have